welcome. I'm Shaun Savage, and this is TVLinux, and I'm here with Jesse Black. Hey, Jesse, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Shaun. How are you?
Oh, I'm alive and kicking. We've got a real good show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about
Pen drive applications you can put on your thumb drive and take with you and run on any computer you happen to be near.
So what this means is if you like Firefox and you like security, you can run this on what machines, what operating system?
We're going to be demonstrating it on Microsoft Windows tonight.
Oh, on TVLinux, you've got to be kidding.
Well, calm down, Shaun. We do that once in a while just to show that open source software is for everyone. We can have open source software running on Windows as well as on Linux.
Well, sounds like a good show. This is our second show in the 5th season. Can you believe 5 seasons already?
That's amazing.
Yes, we're longer than most sitcoms. And we haven't been paid as much either. Okay, well, I guess we're going to start off like we always do with the Nerd News. Okay, well, my first thing on the Nerd News today is VIA, which is a huge chip maker. Okay, VIA, which is a huge chip maker, that should be getting it, has created a strategic open source driver development initiative, which means that they're going to be supporting open source drivers for their 2D, 3D, and video acceleration playback systems.
They make the chips in lots of computers out there. Will this also help the computers, help Linux run on new VIA boards faster?
Yes.
I hope so.
So, okay, and the next story is HP. You remember when I showed you this tiny little laptop?
That's the EEE PC.
That's the EEE PC.
From Asus, right?
Yes.
That's
well,
the under $400 barely.
Yes.
Barely under $400 laptop.
You could probably buy it for $300.
Really?
Some places, $309, something like that.
Excellent. And it runs Linux.
It runs Linux.
And it's very portable.
Yes.
We could see by the size.
And I have them there was its own distribution of Linux on, which is made for the very novice. I mean, all you had to do is point and click for any application. Mm-hmm. Well, I put Ubuntu on it, which makes it a little more usable for me.
More full-featured.
Yes, yes. Well, HP is coming out with one. And they expect to be selling 50 million of them by 2001. So that's pretty good.
50 million?
Of these little tiny computers by 2001.
Will this be targeted at schools and education?
Basically, they haven't really said who it's for. So they're sort of trying, they're basically said it may be for schools, but they think a lot of other people will like it.
I'm certainly interested.
Yes, a low-cost, small computer that you can, almost like a super PDA.
Well, Shaun, you just pulled that out of your backpack there, so
yeah.
That's one of the advantages of having a small laptop.
Stick it in my shirt, see?
Computing on the go.
Okay. So the next one is Yahoo. You've been reading about Microsoft wanting to buy Yahoo?
Yes. What's the latest on that?
Well, A few days ago, Microsoft said, Yahoo will give you 3 weeks to get in line, or else we're dropping it.
Dropping what?
We're not going to buy you anymore.
Oh, is that a threat?
And Yahoo says, okay, fine. What you're doing is you're offering too little. Now, my opinion of this is Yahoo is one of the largest online communities in the world. Okay? If Microsoft buys them, to me, that will really that will create an online monopoly. Not only do they control the desktops, but they also control the online communities. They tried to do it with Hotmail and that type of thing in MSN, and that just
went not very far.
Yes, it's not going too well. So now they're trying to buy Yahoo. And to me, I think this would raise monopoly questions. Here's a good one. China allows access to English Wikipedia, which means now the Chinese can be as misinformed as the rest of the world. Now, I've got to say that most of the things in China or in Wikipedia are correct, but there does get some flaky things in there. And what this does is this allows the people of China to get access to that information that will allow them to learn more about the world. But there are still some politically sensitive topics such as Tibet, Tiananmen Square, that are off limits. And this came about because the International Olympic Committee basically said, you need to quit blocking the net. It would reflect very poorly on the host country when people got there. And when I was over there, it was blocked. So I had to use Tor to get around it. And Tor is an anonymizer that encrypts and sends out, So I'm sure there was a lot of traffic that the Chinese were interested in when I was there. They don't see much of that in that protocol. And pretty soon, open source will be in every organization's, Gartner report predicts. Now, Gartner is a super high-end consulting firm that has been, when open source first came out, they basically said, oh, open source will never make it, open source, bad, open source. And I even can find some early reports of theirs and shows that this is false. And now they're basically saying it will be everywhere. Because what that means is that open source will be so easy to get and change that everyone will want to be using it. Even the proprietary people will say, well, what's easier, to write our own code or use this open source project?
That's how Unix and Linux caught on so fast, is why write your own operating system when there's an open source one that you just have to compile for your particular hardware, and there you go.
Yeah. And this one is one we were talking about. The feds lie about link between software piracy and terrorism. General Micah McCasey claims that terrorists sell pirated software as a way to finance their operations. Well, yeah. Hey, man, you got some Windows? I want to buy a bomb with it. Windows already is a bomb. What are you talking about?
Well, Shaun, this is a good reason for going to open source software, since it's usually distributed free. There's no money for the terrorists in it.
Right. So remember, be patriotic. Use open source software.
Right.
Well, on the final thing of the nerd news, I want to plug something that's coming up in July. It is the Portland O'Reilly OSCON, the open source convention.
It's not only the Portland OSCON, it's the OSCON.
And it's from July 21st to July 25th, 2008. So if you're interested, just Google OSCON, OSCON 2008, and sign up for it. You'll be able to
see the latest things happening in the open source world.
Right. And along with that is Ubuntu Live. And last year I interviewed Mark Shuttleworth, and
who
founder
of Ubuntu.
Well, he sort of bought it off a 2-bit company in South Africa and really built it up.
Okay.
You know, so
built it into perhaps the leading distribution worldwide now.
And if you do Ubuntu Live or Ubuntu Live 2008, Google that. It's July 21st to 22nd in Portland here. So those are 2 very important conferences that people should attend if they're interested at all in open source community. Well, I think that's enough for the nerd news. And now it's on to the Mozilla Minute. Okay. Well, we're having some technical difficulties today. I'm not able to display the browser for the Mozilla Minute. And what it is on is I wanted to show Firefox 3.0 beta.
Okay.
And what this is a brand new version of Firefox. Can we show it now? Oh, okay. Well, what we're doing is if you go to getfirefox.com, you'll be able to download the latest Firefox 3 beta, the 5th beta, which means the next one will be release candidate 1. So all the features have been frozen. And a couple of things that they have done is the big memory leak, the memory leak of Firefox has been fixed.
I didn't know there was one.
Yes. And now the memory footprint of Firefox is smaller than any other browser.
Cool.
So
it's more efficient to run on your computer?
More efficient to run on lower-end computers.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted to do, and I will show that next time, is a thing called ACID 3 test. Justin, you want to pull up ACID 3 test?
Okay, so do I just Google for ACID 3?
ACID 3.
Test, okay. Okay, acidtests.org.
There, yes.
Okay. Click on there, ACID 3. Oh, it's running stuff in my browser, Shaun. What's it doing?
Okay, this is the ACID 3 test, which basically this test determines how compliant the browser is with the latest HTML and JavaScript Web 2.0 compatibility.
Okay, I see that it says fail in my upper left-hand corner here, and it says 52/100. Does that mean I was only 52% compliant?
Right, right. Now, what version of Mozilla are you going? Go up to Help.
Help. About Mozilla Firefox 2.00.12. That's probably pretty close to the latest thing.
That's the latest 2.0 version.
Latest 2.0 version.
When I run the ACID 3 test for the Firefox 3, I get 71%.
Okay, great. I wonder how they know.
Well, what it is, it's the rendering of, if you look at the source to that, it's a really, really complicated source.
Okay, so if I actually wanted to do that, what I would do is go up to the View menu, pull down and say Page Source. Oh, you're right. It just goes on and on. It's huge.
Yes.
All of that code. Expect document.get elements by, oh my. Well, that's more, oh, it just goes on and on.
Yes, it's very, very complicated. So it really tests the browser well. There's only what Safari's is a little bit more, and IE's still down in the 50s with Firefox 2. That's IE 7 and stuff. So that's, when you, in June, this coming June is when they expect to release Firefox 3. You should download it at that time. It will be a very, very good browser.
Okay.
So anyway, next let's have the show times. And we'll have the show times, and then we'll start with the Jesse's presentation.
Okay.
Well, that was good snooze music. I'm sure you're woken up now.
Okay, wake up, people. We're going to be talking about portable applications today. And portable applications are programs that you can run directly off of your USB device. For example, this flash drive or thumb drive or pen drive, whatever you want to call it. Most of you are familiar with what it is. You plug it into your USB port, provides storage. Now, you may have noticed if you've been shopping around for these, that some of these have come with what's called U3, which is a system for putting applications that run off of a thumb drive. And some of them come with virus checkers, and some of them come with Skype, and some of them come with lots of demonstration software that are hoping that you'll buy more demonstration software. But there is a body of free software that you can get to run on your thumb drive. And I'm talking about portable apps. And these you can carry with you and use on any Windows XP or Vista computer. And their website, if you'd like to do more research, is portableapps.com, showing there on your screen. Now, the U3 system was developed by SanDisk, and they're one of the manufacturers of thumb drive. This particular one is a PNY thumb drive. And just a little tip if you're going out to purchase them, now that they're getting into very high capacity, you're going to be transferring more data on and off of them. And it pays to buy ones that are faster than the average. Otherwise, it'll take you a long time to get all your pictures and programs and data on and off the thumb drive. So look, this particular one is an Optima Pro, which means it had higher speed. SanDisk and the other manufacturers also have the regular level plus the high-speed professional or whatever, turbo, whatever they want to call it, versions. So I'm going to, the way to find portable apps is either to use the website, or I'm just going to type in portable apps into my web browser here and hit enter. And sure enough, the first hit is portableapps.com. And I'll go there and just see what they show us. Pick a PC, any PC, new portable apps suite. Okay, what this means is that they've collected a bunch of applications together that they think you're likely to want and packaged them together in a single download. And over here on the right-hand side of the screen, we have a list of newly modified applications. Like just a couple days ago, they came out with a new version of AbiWord, which is a free open source text editor, document processor. Okay. Incidentally, it reads and writes Microsoft Word files, which is a handy trait. Here's Mozilla Firefox 3 Beta 5, just a few days ago. And other GNU Cache, which is a checkbook type accounting program. And Sudoku for those spare moments. So let's see, if I click here, it'll take me to the download location. Let's see what it says in the middle. The Portable Apps Suite is free. It contains no spyware. There are no advertisements. It isn't a limited or trial version. There's no additional hardware or software to buy. You don't even have to give out your email address to use it. It's 100% free, free to copy, and free to share. And that's what we like here on TVLinux, is free and open source software.
Free.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to click here on the left-hand side, and it's going to take me to the download page, or actually to the portableapps.com suite. And there are two versions highlighted here. The one on the left is the standard version, and it's about 90 megabytes. And there's the light version here on the right, which is about 30 megabytes. And there's even a base edition here below, and it's just the essential. It's the menu and stuff, and you have to add in all your applications yourself. So I took the middle road. I downloaded the light version, the 30 megabyte version, onto my computer, and then I plugged in my thumb drive, and I formatted the thumb drive just to make sure that we didn't have any old junk on there. And I formatted it using the FAT32 file system. And then you just double-click the exe file that you download from portableapps.com, and it says, where do you want me to put it? And I said, put it on my F drive. And it's, for me, when I plug in the USB device, it's the F drive, because C is my operating system, D is the second partition that I have on my disk. Most people don't have that. E is the CD reader-writer, DVD reader that I have.
And the F is for fabulous.
And F is for free software.
Free software.
Close. Okay, and then it just unpacks it onto your thumb drive, and it leaves space available. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug in my thumb drive into my USB port, and we'll just see what happens here. There I go, plug it in, and I'm going to close my browser window so it's easier to see what happens. Okay, I hear the sound of something being discovered, and it brings up the usual thing that comes up when you plug in a USB drive. And here's the one I normally use, open folder to view files. But there also at the top here is a new choice, which is Start Portable Apps, using the program provided on the device. So I'm going to choose that, and we'll see what happens. There on the right-hand side of my screen, I have portableapps.com, your digital life anywhere. And here's a list of applications that came with this particular portable apps system. And if I look down here at the bottom of this window here in the red, it's telling me how much space that I use. It's right below the logo there, right next to Tux, and it says 3.6 gigabytes free of my 4 gigabyte thumb drive. So this took about a little over a half a gigabyte. So it fits on virtually any thumb drive you would buy today is likely to have at least a gigabyte or more. So there's plenty of space for applications, more applications, and my data as well. Well, let's look at some of the programs that it brings us. Let's start up the first one, which is AbiWord. And as I mentioned, this is a word processor, and this is the portable version of it. It's basically the same Abby Word that you can download for Windows, but it stores all of its settings on the thumb drive instead of on your system.
Now, is this a Windows application?
Yes, it's a Windows application. It's open source code that someone has compiled to run a Microsoft Windows operating system.
Okay.
Open source is not just for Linux, it's also for the Mac OS, it's for Windows, it's for Solaris, it's for lots of Unix distributions. And that's, as we say, one of the beauties of open source is you just compile it and it'll run on pretty much whatever computer that you have.
Good.
And the price is right. So here we can type stuff. Here I am typing stuff. And as you see, we can select text. It works just like a regular word processor. I can increase the font size. I can make it bold. I can center the line. I can change the text font to, oh, I don't know, I guess that's sort of a reddish there. And sure enough, it works just like you'd expect a word processor to do. And I can go up to File. I can say Save As. And by default, it's going to save files in Abby Word format. So I'll just say save it as test.abbyword. But let's see what other choices we have there under Save As. And we have Save As Type. Oh, just a whole long list. Microsoft Word format. Let me just save it as a doc file. And File, Save As. Let's see what other formats. So we have ODT, the Open Document format. We have HTML. I can save it as an HTML file. So I'll save test.html. It's asking me for what options I want to use. I'll just take the defaults. And now let's close that, and let's just see if I can find where we saved that. Did I put that in my documents? No, I'll have to go look for it now. Maybe on my E partition under Jesse. No, it's not there either. All right, well, we'll look for that another time. Maybe it's there. Oh, there it is right there. Test.doc. Let me just double click it and see what comes up. I'm starting up Microsoft Office, Word 2003. Let's see, there it is. I just need to...
And the Abby Word started up much quicker.
Yes. It's just less bloatware than Microsoft Office, but you know, what do you do? Sometimes you get all
Open
that junk.
Office.
Yeah, right. Get Open Office if you need something with even more features. Let me just see if I can zoom in to 100% so we can just see if it looks right. Sure enough, there's my bold red font in the middle of it. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's see what other things we can do. I'm going to go down here to my taskbar, which is in the lower right-hand corner. I'm going to click the Portable Apps menu, brings up the same list that we had before. And there's ClamWin, which is the free antivirus software. There's a little bit more about that. If we have time, I'll tell you about that. Firefox, which will run totally off the thumb drive. In fact, let me. You might not be able to see it, but I've actually have Firefox running now, running in Windows. But if I run the one off the thumb drive, just to prove that it is running off the thumb drive, I'll click it, and it says you can't run this because you're already running Firefox. There's another instance of it running. So it's definitely not the one. I'll close the one that's on my Windows system and restart the one that comes off my thumb drive. That was just to show that it was not the one running. And here we are, since it's the first time I've run it since installing it on the thumb drive, it's asking me to accept the license agreement. I can continue, and in a few seconds, as long as it takes to run off my thumb drive, it's going to bring up Firefox. Now I have an older computer here with a slower USB port, and that's why it's taking a while to start up.
Okay.
But it'll be up in a few seconds.
So So how many different applications are there in the big one?
That's a good question. Let me just bring up my menu again here. Firefox did comes up with a start page. This is a pretty short list. The completer version, the 90 megabyte one, is this same list without the Abbey word, but with all of OpenOffice in it.
Wow.
So if you think you're going to be going to a place where they have computers but might not have the software you want on it, you can take these portable applications with you on your thumb drive, plug it into the machine wherever you are, and start working with your favorite applications without having to install any software on there. And now, many Windows systems are run in login as default in administrator mode, so anyone can do anything on the computer. But perhaps you're at a place where they don't want you to install software, or maybe you're at a kiosk where they've prevented people from installing software so as not to mess things up. But you can still run your favorite applications by running them off the thumb drive.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And I'm looking in here. You've got Firefox accessibility extensions, on-screen keyboard portability, virtual magnifying glass, notepad. You have a web development system, NuVu portable and Composer portable. You have Apache, MySQL, PHP, MyAdmin, basically a full LAMP system that allows you to create a web server on it.
Running off on a flash drive. Huh?
On the flash drive.
That's amazing.
Games, GIMP.
That's the graphics or the GNU image manipulation program that is Photoshop-like.
Photoshop-like.
Yep.
FTP, IM, Firefox.
Thunderbird, the better email client.
Right. Pigeon.
The one that you skipped right above that, Composer, that's an easy-to-use and free web page editor. It's a WYSIWYG web page editor. And I use that occasionally if I'm doing simple websites. I just do it in WYSIWYG. And if I want to do anything fancy, like most web developers, you end up getting into the HTML to do the
And there's
fancy stuff.
Audacity. Audacity is a fascinating program. It is a full-blown audio editing program.
Mm-hmm. We actually had that on the show. I think it was one of the days when you were in China.
Okay.
We had Audacity on the show and demonstrated that, and with a great response from our viewers. There's MPlayer Portable. I'd like to demonstrate that. Basically, all you need to do is click on it, download the file, which I've already done. There's also VLC Media Player, which is another player for various media formats. And if you, for example, have a computer that you've reinstalled Windows on and you've lost the original applications for playing DVDs, VLC Media Player or MPlayer are great ones to put on there. You don't have to buy software to play DVDs. You can just download the free software to do that. And going farther down the list, the Office applications, there's AbbeyWord, GNU Cache, which we mentioned, Sunbird, the calendar application.
That's a good program.
Mm-hmm.
It basically allows you to have a calendar that you can look at.
Mm-hmm. And Thunderbird, the email client with address book, OpenOffice.org, word processor, spreadsheet, and presentation with Microsoft compatibility. In fact, just getting off on a tangent here, Microsoft Office 2007 is so much different than Office 2003 and previous versions that if you have to make a switch, you're better off going to OpenOffice because it's more like what you're used to.
Oh, really?
Than Office 2007 is.
Good.
So now's a great time if you have to get a new Office suite. Don't go to 2007. Get OpenOffice.
It'll save you money and
save you hundreds of dollars and be more compatible with what you have.
With what you've got.
Operating systems, Mac on a stick, run Mac OS 7 Classic portably. That's interesting. We'll have to try that sometime. Get a Mac expert in here to show us how to do that. Oh, and a long list of utilities. There's ClamWin, the antivirus, zipping utilities, file erasers, password safe, which is if you want to keep your passwords with you but not have them easily readable by whoever finds your thumb drive. You can keep them in the password safe. Portable apps backup, which comes with the backups with the portable app system.
Okay. So it backs up your data for you?
Right, it backs up your thumb drive data to whatever drive you want. It could be on your hard drive, it could be another thumb drive, whatever. There's WinDirstat in case you want to analyze what your disk space usage looks like. Now I've downloaded some of these things already, so I'm just going to close that, close those tabs, and we'll just see what I've downloaded, see if I can find them now. My download folder under portable apps, there they are. Let's try MPlayer. This is the file I downloaded, and it's 5 megabytes. So I'm just going to double click that thing, MPlayer Portable, and it will guide me through the process. Well, let's see how hard it is. It's offering to put it on my F drive, which is my F for free software drive, right into the portable apps folder, right where it needs to be. So all I do is click install, and it goes kerchunk, and it's a little bit slower than writing to your own hard drive because it's writing to my thumb drive.
And you've got USB 1.1?
Yeah, actually here I've got external USB 2 ports, which gives me a little bit of boost in speed, but I'm still limited, I think, by my PC card slot.
Okay.
So on your laptop at home, if you have USB 1, it'll be a little bit slower than this. If you have USB 2, like Shaun does on his more modern laptop, it'll be faster than this. Oh, there it is, completing the MPlayer Portable Setup Wizard finish. Okay, so let's see. That was 1 click to start the exe file, 1 click to say next, because it guessed right, and 1 click that says basically, yes, I know you're done. Thank you very much. Well, let's see if we can bring that up. I'm just going to hide that window. I'm going to go down here, and oh, darn it, it's not there on my menu. I have to go to the options and say refresh my icons. There it is. Or I could have exited from this portable apps thing totally, started to back up, and it would have been there. So
it can do it on the fly. All you do is say refresh.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, let's give it a try. I'm going to click on MPlayer Portable. It starts up, and now I need something to play. So let me just find a file. I'll say play file, and oh, here's a little movie that I took during OzCon 2007, Pan Around the Booths. This is about a 2-minute and 10-second movie. Let's see if it works. Okay, Red Hat. I just took my digital camera that I was using that day.
Okay, I think the frame grabber that we are using does not like this.
Okay. Alas, well, let me see if I can just turn my screen around and face the camera. You know, Shaun, I'm not sure what it is, but I've done this before where I've tried to play a video on the show, and it just doesn't show up there. But here I'll point my screen at the camera, and you can see that this is the OzCon booth. There's the O'Reilly booth. There's more O'Reilly in the background. Let's see what else.
And this is what we took last year there.
Right. Let's see. Popcorn. There's the hacker booth where you can buy lots of gadgets that you might want to use if you're a computer enthusiast. There's the solid systems booth. Shaun, you did an interview there,
yes.
Didn't you? More groundwork, Xtuple. There's the MySQL booth. There's an IBM booth, and HP was exhibiting there. Let's see who's on the right here. Sun Microsystems was demonstrating.
I guess Sun bought MySQL.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, it's good that they have even bigger, deeper pockets supporting them now.
Yes.
Portland State University.
And these people did the 1 laptop per child.
Right. And here's the there's the Firefox booth, I guess the Mozilla booth. Mozilla community website is what it says on your screens. Yeah, that was MPlayer playing a QuickTime movie, a free multimedia player that you can get and run off of the thumb drive. In case you've lost the media players that were on your system, no need to buy new ones.
And so this is ways that, and if you wanted to go out to the library and run things off the library.
Right, you could take it with you on the thumb drive, plug it into the presumably Windows PC at the library and run applications there. Now let me start the browser back up again and see if there's any other cool applications. Oh, Firefox, ClamWin.
What is ClamWin?
Oh, ClamWin is an antivirus program
What
that's
do
free.
antivirus programs do? I haven't used one in 10 years.
That's probably because you're in the Linux world, Shaun, and you don't. Linux computers are not plagued by viruses as much as the Windows operating system is. But occasionally, you might, not you, because you rarely, if ever, use Windows, but our viewers might be going to someone else's computer and they might want to scan it for viruses first before they do much more work on it. Maybe the antivirus software that is on the computer is out of date, not an unusual situation. So let me just bring up ClamWin and see what happens. And off of thumb drive, it offers, what do you want to scan? Okay, let's scan my E drive. Let's just scan my download folder and click scan here. And off it goes. It's going to initialize a little bit and it'll start telling me what it's scanning.
In fact, I've heard that there's a new botnet out there that has 400,000 bots on it already.
Okay, for our viewers, a botnet is a network made up of computers just like yours and your neighbors, and the guy down the street who wasn't very careful about what software he downloaded, and his neighbor who let their kids use their computer and they downloaded something they shouldn't, and now their computers are controlled by someone else. And we hope that your computer, if it's running Windows, could be particularly likely, could be compromised, could be taken over by someone else who controls all these computers into a network of sort of robot computers, a botnet. Zombies, because
each computer is called a zombie.
Yes, because they've been taken over.
It doesn't think for themselves.
And what these people do when they collect all these computers is they use it to take over other computers.
And to send spam.
And to send spam. So some of that spam that you're getting is from someone else's computer that's been taken over because they didn't keep bad software off of their system. And these botnets are also used to send out traffic to other websites to overwhelm them, to take down sites that...
Denial of service,
right,
DOS.
Denial of service attacks, right.
And what the interesting thing about this new botnet is that 70% of the antivirus checkers can't find it. So it's a really nasty one.
Right, so this is most likely a rootkit, which is the kind of software that gets on your system and hides itself so good that you can't even see it in the list of processes.
Right.
Right. So there are various ways to avoid getting your computer taken over. One is to
use Linux.
That's the better way, is to run Linux or Mac OS 10.
Mac OS 10,
There's also very few things out there attacking Mac OS, very few things out there attacking Linux, lots of things out there attacking the Windows operating system.
There was a hackers contest out there, and the first person who hacks the machine, different types of, they had Ubuntu, they had a Vista, they had a Mac. The first machine that fell was the Mac in 30 minutes.
Really?
Of a known exploit. And the only machine left standing after 2 days was Ubuntu.
Great. 2 days.
2 days of, we're talking professional hackers attacking it.
Great. Well, it's just a good reason for running Linux, and particularly Ubuntu. You were talking about Mark Shuttleworth earlier.
Right.
One of the good things that Mark has done, besides coming up with another Linux distribution, there's plenty of people coming up with Linux distributions, but what he's done is he's put a lot of effort into making it a rock-solid, fully featured, user-friendly, well-documented version of Linux.
Correct.
Right.
What he's done is he's created communities of people where that they get together and support people within an area. Like there's an Oregon Ubuntu support community here in Oregon, supporting the people of Oregon for Ubuntu. You know, if you want to use a commercial version and get paid support, they will support you. If you just want to ask them questions, they'll answer your questions.
And because it's such a widely used version of Linux, if you have a problem with it, if you have a question about it, there's a good chance that someone else has also had that same question or problem, has already asked the question, and the answer's already been posted on the internet. You can find it. Okay, ClamWin is free antivirus, is still scanning. It's scanning through my download folder on my E drive, and I'm just going to let that run a while longer. And I would like to say that this, one little thing I discovered is that when you download the portable apps thing, you actually get an old version of ClamWin. And so I updated the definitions, but it warned me that this is an old version of ClamWin. So I thought, oh, how do I get the new version, right? And it's as simple as deleting the old version and saying, bring me the new version. And if in a few clicks, you download it, you install it like any other application on your pen drive.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got the new version.
Okay, good.
So in case you were wondering, in case you try this at home, if you download this portable apps launcher here, which is showing on the right-hand side of the screen, it'll come with this ClamWin. You just delete that version. So if I look under Options, it says Remove an App. It'll say to remove an app, all you do is delete the folder that contains it. And then if you click under Options, Options, Install a new app, it asks, it just tells you download the application and then click this Install button, and then you go searching for where you downloaded it to, and I remember that I put them on my E drive in the download folder on portable apps. And so any of these that I've already downloaded, you see ClamWin there from when I downloaded the lower version.
Got it.
Here's the file eraser, there's MPlayer that I downloaded, there's VLC, and there's a cute little one, WinDirStat Portable. So I just double click that, and here we are installing the software. Yes, it picked the right place to install it to. There it goes. It just takes a few seconds to install.
Now, Eraser is an interesting application. What it does is it takes and erases the applications that you want erased and writes them over and over and over and over again on your hard drive. Because if you just erase it once, they can any known government can go in and look at your hard drive just like that.
Yeah, anyone with enough money and skill who wants to do that can do that.
So you need to basically erase things about, it used to be 7 times, but they've improved the technology so well that it's 15 times.
Oh, great. Since you mentioned erasing, for our viewers, some may know, some may not, that when you delete a file on Windows or Linux, it doesn't actually overwrite the file. It just takes away the pointer to the file, so the data is still there.
So it changes the directory and puts that file, the area of that file, into free space now.
Right.
so another application can use it.
Right, and that's why you want to erase it before you delete it. So that's why you have an eraser app. Okay, well, it's installed the Winder Stat Portable, so I just click Finish to finish. And once again, I'm gonna refresh my buttons. Oh, there it is, Winder Stat Portable. So if I click that to launch that application, let me just get the clutter off my screen here. Oh, I need to answer this. Okay, let's just get a map of my E drive here. I'll click OK. Oh, this is a nice, looks like a test pattern. Nice colors. So it shows me here up in the upper left-hand corner my E partition. It shows me the main folders that I have there, backups, Linux, download, Jesse, DSL, and a few other files. It shows me the percent of space used up by each of those folders. For example, backups have taken up 77% of that drive. My download folder is 6% of the drive. And over on the right-hand side here, we see this group of colors. It shows me that the files of type .gho, which is a ghost file, is shown in blue. .sna files are shown in red. exe files are shown in yellow. So let's look at this colorful area on the bottom half of the screen. It's actually trying to show me that the biggest space here is taken up by files that are coded blue. So what they're trying to show visually, that the amount of space on the disk is taken up by the amount of space shown on the screen, in this case by a big blue rectangle. Okay, so let's look at the blue. I can actually, is that your phone, Shaun?
Yes. This is Shaun. Oh, hi, Bill. How you doing? Okay. Well, just wanted to say thanks for calling. We hear that Microsoft is trying to buy Yahoo. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm a little worried about that. Oh, that's why you want to do it. I know. Yeah. Okay. And I guess you need something. I guess Windows 7 is coming out next year. Oh, okay. That's interesting. You know, considering Vista just really came out this year, or last year, 07, within the year they came out. Okay. So I guess it's such a bad piece of operating system that you got to get another quick money spender out there. And I hear that it's going to be a very modular software where you rent pieces of software to run on it. Okay. That sounds good. Well, I got to go now. You enjoy yourself and keep on trucking. Have your people call my people. Bye. That's my friend Bill.
What did Bill have to say?
Well, he says that, yeah, he'd like to take that Microsoft should take over Yahoo because then they would have a monopoly and then they could crash the rest of the computer world. Also that Vista's doing very, very good. They just want they just want to bring in another operating system quickly so that people will have a reason to upgrade again. At least that's what they're saying.
So I guess Microsoft makes money every time that they come up with a new version of...
Yes, in order to force people to upgrade.
Yeah.
You know, because Vista's so bad, all the people that got Vista now will say, oh, I've got to upgrade. I got to get rid of this piece of junk. So now they're going to upgrade to Windows 7. So.
Or Linux.
Or Linux, yes.
Yeah, or Linux.
Save them some money and make things, save $100 or so a year on virus protection and spyware.
But that would mean that they wouldn't need to buy a new computer because you don't need the latest hardware to run Linux on.
Right. This computer's 3 years old now, and I'm still running the latest version of Linux on it with all the features, like all the quote Avalon-like, where I can bounce windows and things sort of fold in on itself, and all the real fancy stuff. When I switch desktops, you sort of see the whole desktop rotate. All the cool 3D stuff.
Well, Shaun, we just have like a couple minutes. I'm just going to wrap up with WinDirStat. Once again, we were saying that the largest space here, visually shown on the screen, represents the largest space on the file. So if I just click this blue area, up here in the top of the screen, it actually jumps there to show us that there's this 1.5 gigabyte file that this space on the screen represents, and that this red area represents, where did it jump to? A .sna file, which is another a snapshot program. The blue area is another snapshot. Let me just look at some of the, here's the gold area represents portableapps.exe. Some more exe files here shown in the same color. We've got 1 minute left. And I want to take that time to thank our crew today.
Yes, thank you, Dennis.
Dennis is all alone there in the booth. He's been doing the whole deal this evening. We really appreciate his...
Yes, he's a wonderful director and producer, and helps get put the show on very much. We want to thank you.
King of the control booth.
Yes. He has his own production company called Darkwing International that produces this TVLinux.
And his expertise is really key to keeping us on the air, because without Dennis, we're just two guys talking to ourselves in the room.
So that's about the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Remember that Linux is an operating system that will protect you from viruses and spyware. And well, have a good one. We'll see you later. Bye.